This video tour of the NROC EdReady software is going to walk you through logging into the course, entering your goal key, taking the diagnostic test, working in your study path, and taking the final tier test for a module. What you'll need to do is click on this link, and you're currently now watching the video. So before you actually start watching the video, what you need to do is click on the process of completing a tier. If you will print this handout before you actually watch the video, it'll make it a whole lot easier for you to understand. And also the steps going through here, the process of completing a tier, is a lot of the same thing that I'll be talking about on this video. So if you'll print it out, you can take notes on this process handout so that once you actually start working in the course, you'll be able to understand it a whole lot better. To log into the NROC EdReady software, you just click on the link to the NROC EdReady. And then you'll click on the load link to NROC EdReady. This will open up into a new window and it'll open up to the software screen. You will not have to enter in a username or password. It will automatically redirect you to this particular page. Now this particular student has already started her MAT 18 SC MAT Tier 1 study plan. Yours will be Tech Transition Math Tier 1. So you'll not see anything on your screen over here until you go over here to the enter a key to join the private goals. You will click on this link and enter in the goal key that will be sent to you in an email on the first day of class if you're in an online class, or if you're in a seated class, it will be given to you in the seated class. You will enter the key exactly as noted in that email, then click submit. Once you click submit, then this Transition Math Tier 1 goal will be added to your course. So after you've entered the goal key, this is what you should see on your particular course. Now the name will be different because we're now in a different semester. So what you will now need to do is click on Go to Goal. Then if you've printed out the process of completing a tier handout, you'll be able to follow those steps. In your step 1, your first step is take the diagnostic test. So you'll click on the diagnostic test for this particular tier, and it'll tell you some things. There's no built-in calculator for EdReady. It should take you about an hour to complete the test. It's not timed, but it should just take you about an hour to complete it. And you can use a scientific calculator on this test. Most of this material you should be able to do without a calculator, but we are going to allow you to use one. Then you click on Start Test Now. You will need to work through the test. If you know how to do something, enter an answer and click Submit. If you don't know how to do a particular problem, just go ahead and skip it. It's best if you skip a question so that once you get to the study path, you'll be able to study it if you do not know how to do it. If you just randomly guess and submit and get it correct, then when you take your final test, you will not have studied the material and will probably fail it. One thing about this diagnostic test is once you either submit or skip, you cannot go back to a question. But I highly recommend that if you don't know how to do a particular problem, just go ahead and skip it. Once you have finished the test, then you'll click on Save and Close, and it will grade it. Remember that you can use your formula sheet that was on one of the other steps in the module. So as you've taken the test, you can see I've taken a test. I've got a diagnostic score is 26. So I've had a custom study plan created for me. So once I need to do that, I'll click on Review Results. And I will see this is my particular study plan. You'll see the items that are kind of color-coded. Anything that's got a kind of a greenish color, you've mastered. So you can see in my particular test, I haven't mastered anything. Most of the stuff that's red is stuff I'm not ready to take. If you just hover your name over it, you can see these are the topics that are listed on that Tier 1 Unit Topics list that we had you to print out. The gray stuff is the stuff that's not accessed. That's the stuff that was not on the place diagnostic test that I do need. So what I do is I click on my View Study Plan, and this is the second step that's on the process of completing a tier. So once you've done that, it's created once you submit the diagnostic test. You'll work in your study path on the units and topics and the tier until you reach an EdReady cumulative score at least 90. Now, 90 is just the minimum. It's the target score. We recommend that you get it up to 100. And the reason we want you to do it to 100 is that by then you've actually seen all the material. You don't just get to 90 and decide that you're going to take the final test, because between the 90 and 100 there's still a lot of material that you've not practiced on. So we highly recommend that you do it up to 100%. Now what you need to do is follow the little steps. It's on the step 2 personalized study plan on the process of completing a tier. You'll work down through all the material. You need to actually do all 6 of those options. Well, the 2 options are learn and test. Best thing to do is click on the learn, and as you work through each one of these material items, then you'll be able to study the material. Make sure that you read what each one of these little 6 items is on your handout. The warm-up is not available for all, but what it does is reviews you on material that you've done in previous units or topics. The presentation is a video of the material. The work examples are also a video worked out by an instructor. The topic test is basically what you're going to be using as a textbook for the course. You will see that it has words explaining all the different things in a topic. I kind of highly recommend that you read everything that's in this topic text, take notes from it, so that as you work the final test and as you work through the material, you'll be able to understand it, and when you actually take the final test, you'll be able to use any notes you took off the topic test as you take the final test. Once you've completed a particular one of these Learn tabs, you can always go back to the study path by clicking on this link here, and then you'll see if your score has changed based on what you've done. Once you have completed all the units in this particular item and all the topics within this particular unit, your grade will probably change. So 26 is what I made on my diagnostic test. Once I complete all the whole number of items, my grade should go up, and then as I go to the next one, it should go up, and on up. You need to get to at least a target score of 90, but as I've said before in this video, and we said in the handout and several other places, you need to try to always strive to get to the 100%. That way you make sure that you know all the material and have studied all the material and practiced all the material. Once you have completed a topic and mastered that topic, the topic will disappear from your screen. The next one will move up, and the one that you've just finished will go over here into this side. It will also be the same way when you complete a whole unit. So until you get all the different units in this particular topic completed, you still need to work. Once I have mastered every particular topic and every particular unit, all these will now turn to mastered, which will be green. And then you'll know that not only by that, but by your score will be at least the 90% or close to the 100%. Again, strive towards 100. Then you need to do the number 3 on the process of completing a tier. Take the final test. After mastering the last unit in your tier, show that all your items are now mastered, you can take the final test. You'll have to notify your instructor that you need to take the final test. They will verify that you have at least a 90% score, and they'll still kind of recommend you do the 100, so strive towards 100 at all times. And then once you can take your final test, it can be taken a maximum of 2 times. If you take it the first time and don't get your required 85% score, then what you'll need to do is you'll need to get a new study plan will be created after you take the first test. You'll go back and complete the stuff that you missed on the first test to get to your 90% score again. And then you'll be allowed to take your second attempt at your final test. But you don't need to take that second test until you're really ready to pass the course. Because again, you can only take the final tier test a maximum of 2 times without having to repeat the course. And you don't want to do that, and we don't want you to have to do that. So if you have any questions on how to navigate around the Canvas course, how to navigate, get to the NROC EdReady course, just follow the instructions on all the handouts that we've posted in Canvas. If you've printed them all out, you could probably find your answer on any problems in one of those handouts. And also for the one that you're looking at now, the process of completing a tier, it will help you to navigate around NROC. But again, if you have any questions, you can email your instructor through a Canvas email, or you can call your instructor during his office hours. Good luck in the course.